Hi, it's Lynn here from the Swirlydoos Education team, and let me tell you, this month's technique kit is a humdinger. I finally had to say, Lynn, step away from the album. And what we're going to be working with this month is the mixed media album from Prima. So you have all of this canvas and watercolor paper, and it's just absolutely amazing. Chucker block full of goodness. So I'm going to give you a little walkthrough right now. I don't have my rings on my binder at this moment, but I wanted to give you a walkthrough so that you can see what I created. Here you have the wonderful cover that is made from the resist canvas so that when you spray all kinds of goodness all over it, not only do you have the beautiful color, but you have the resist that shows through. This is my inside of my cover, and basically what this consists of, and I'm not going to show you how I did this, but when you are spritzing your canvas, you end up with all this overspray on your mask. So what I do is I take it and then I just stamp that onto pieces of paper or the cover here, as you can see. Here is the watercolor paper that I worked with, where I stamped and I inked and I pulled out some stencils and put some gesso on here, and oh, like I said, so much goodness. And here we have one of the canvas resist pages, and on this page right here, what I did was I utilized the back side of the die cut paper. Oh, we have a little extra there, and placed it on top of my pages and then rubbed gesso through it so that it showed up on here. Once again, more resist pages, and you have to remember when you're doing this that what you do on one side is going to show up on the other when you're dealing with these canvas resist pages. Put on a little bit of extra burlap that I had, some punched borders. This right here is some beautiful tissue that I used multi-medium and adhered it down to my canvas. Just more amazing loveliness. And there you have it. So I'll do a couple little walkthroughs to show you a few of the techniques that I use to create these jaw-dropping pages so that when you get your kit, you can do it too. So here we have one of the covers. This will be actually my backside cover to my album. And what you will need is the mask that comes in your kit. I have a re-inker mixture here of scattered straw. I kind of made up my own color combo, and this is dried marigold and spun sugar together to get the kind of color that was in the papers that came with, that I received to work with the kit. Delusions ink spray, and this is called Black Marble, and a spritzer full of water. So the first thing I did was I just kind of randomly sprayed on the cover with different colors, the two different colors that I had, to give me a nice mix of color. All right, and then you can kind of spritz it with a little bit of water to kind of mix the two colors together. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to dry this all the way. You do not want this canvas wet at all when you move to the next step and spray with the black marble spray, because what will happen is this ink is reactive with water, so when it hits the surface, if it is damp, it is just going to cause it to just bleed into the fabric. Now, if that's what you want it to do, then you go right ahead. But if you want to achieve some of the crisp lines that are in the mask, then you want this canvas to be as dry as possible. So I'll be back when it's dry. Okay, so I have my cover all dry here. Now, first thing I want you to understand that when you are spraying, that you are not dealing with an exact science here. Okay, you have droplets of water being thrown into the air with speed because of the little pumper, and where it kind of lands and where your hand is moving and all of that really makes this a very inexact science. Now, I'm going to let you know, when I decided to use this black marble around the edges of my cover, I was scared to death. Now, granted, if it didn't work out, I could always run over to the kitchen sink and run it underwater because these are reactive with water. But I just said, okay, I can do this. And so I did. So basically, what I did was I made sure, once again, that your cover is all nice and dry. And I took my mask and I placed it a little bit off the edge of my cover. Now, I've taken a couple classes lately using various different misters, and the one thing that I keep hearing them say is commit to the mist, okay? And what that means is don't get up here and go, and kind of do little half squirts and all that type of stuff. Number one, if you're working with any of these spray mists that have any type of blingage in them, you're going to clog them, because that is only going to go part of the way up the mister, and then it's going to get clogged in there. So you have to say to yourself when you're going to do this, okay, I'm just going to spray this, and you're going to see where it happens. Now, if you feel more comfortable, then you may want to practice on another sheet of paper, but I just kind of jumped right in and bit the big one. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to spray. Like that. Now, when I lift this off of here, you're going to see that there is ink on the mask. And here it came through beautifully. Oh, I wish my front cover looked as good as this. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to carefully move my cover out of the way, and I'm going to take a piece of the watercolor paper, and I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to press that down on there. So I'm going to clean up my workspace here, because I now have ink everywhere. I'm going to go wash off my mask, wash off my hands, and continue the process. I'm even going to use some of this leftover on the inside of my cover. Now, I've been toying with art journaling, so something that I learned this past weekend is, of course, we never want to waste our ink. And when you have that leftover ink, what you can do is just take your art journal and go ahead and pick up that ink color. So I'm going to do that in my art journal just to make the most out of that. And one of these days, I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish this. So yes, using this black marble spray ink was scary, but you know what? The end result is absolutely and totally beautiful. So step outside your box, give it a shot, and you too will fall in love with it.